This is a ULANZI desk stand. So fantastic for content creators, if you're live streaming, Zoom calls, anything like that, where you want to have all your kit set up, ready to go, to touch of a button, and it organizes it all onto this one pole. So fantastic idea. How good is it? How strong is it? Let's find out. I'm going to put it through its paces today because this is my setup at the moment. As you can see, I've got a flat panel light there. It's 600 LED from Neewer, and it has a little bit of weight. Not sure these desk stands are really made for that type of weight. So let's see what we can get away with. Other issues people have found, it moves a little bit now. That's also to do with the tables they're putting it on. And what I've done is going to be sat on that table over there, and I've actually, it's a metal framed table, and I've got my sandbags on the metal frame at the base. So I'm thinking that's going to make it a bit more stable. This has got a metal rim around it that the top sits on. So I've also had to made a small wooden block so I can get a good purchase underneath. So that's just a thing you need to take into account. I wasn't sure whether that was going to be an issue or not because I didn't know how much distance there would be, but they don't actually give you those measurements, and there's only about 1 centimetre, and this is a fraction over 1 centimetre from the circular disc that you screw up underneath. But I can certainly say this is really well made. It's nice and solid, it's all metal. These handles are plastic, but I don't see that being an issue. The base here is quite is nice and strong, it's reasonably wide. I've seen other models, other makers that do a wider base. That could be an advantage, but ultimately, if I can get away with putting that light on here, then I'll be really happy. It's quite nice that on the top here there is a thread for you to be able to put other attachments on there. Maybe that's an option where I'll actually mount the light there, and then the weight will be going straight through the center. That might be a way of doing it, and I'll mount it slightly off to one side because I've still got these long arms to bring the camera in and the mic in. So it's also going to need to support this Sony A7R4, and it's not as heavy as a DSLR, being mirrorless, but I've got a cage on it, and it's just going to add some more weight onto the arm. So let's see how that goes. I noticed this comes with this sort of mic holder. I'm not sure how good that's actually going to be in practice. It looks more like for a music mic, but we'll see if we can get the Deity rigged up on this and see how it goes. So let's break this down and see how it all goes together. So here we have it all set up, ready to put together, and I've got my LED light here, I've got my mic here, and the R7 for here. This unit comes with this very nice ball head here with a little plate. It's really quite well made. It's only a small plate, big heavy camera. I wouldn't be so sure. I think since this is just going to sit there and not move around, I think this is going to be quite sufficient. I'm not too worried about that. It looks nicely made. So let's get this on first of all. That fits on nice and tightly. And these all adjust quite easily like so. So we can get lots of different positions on here. It's all quite nice and firm. Move these angles around quite easily. Set that off. That's quite nice. There's some movement there. I think if you're got quite a heavy camera, I think you'd probably notice the weight on that. So next, let's look at this mic. I've got my Deity here. As you can see, this is quite pointless, but I believe, let's actually lower this down, make it easier to get to. As you can see, that slides down. So again, a lot of flexibility there. So then the big question is fixing this light. Let's see what we think of this. Some movement there, but it's definitely taking the weight of it quite happily. And I'm quite impressed with that. Quite impressed as, yep. So my only concern would be how much camera movement I'll get out of that. And I think it'll be just a question of putting it to the test. This isn't a super stable table, so let's get this set up over there and see what we think. Okay, you could see the desk stand set up here on the corner where I wanted it on the desk. Seems quite stable. I'm going to be typing. I don't see a lot of movement here. This is quite stable, this table anyway. That's not bad. I can get my mic positioned really nicely, really easily. I've got the camera here. I've tried pulling it out round here. Didn't want it in front of the computer really. I'm going to have to still work out if that's going to be the best position for me. I think a bit of trial and error. The light, where it is now, is absolutely ideal and there's no bend or movement. Of course, I haven't got it extended quite a long way out. I've tried it and it does start to give quite a bit more flex. As you can see, it starts to bend a lot. If you keep the zigzag a bit tighter, that's not nearly as bad. What I do like is I've been able to get it sort of very close to the wall. So it's far away from me, and I think I've still got plenty of room to get a softbox on there. So I think that's quite nice. I've got a small round softbox, which would be nice, give me a better, softer fill light there. So I think that will work really well. I'm very pleased with that actually. I think the build is very good for what it is, for the price point it is. I think you can't go wrong really. So ideal. I think let's see what it looks like with through the camera from that side. Well, this is what the setup looks like from the viewer's point of view, and I'm really happy with it. I have now lowered the camera down a couple of inches just to bring the eye level to where I want it, and it's super fine. It's just off the side of the computer, which is just here, so if I need to work with the computer, I'm gonna, this is me typing, so I don't see any movement. I think this is going to be fine. Yeah, no, I'm really happy. That seems very stable. Maybe a tiny bit if I was to like shake the table, but otherwise I think that's unlikely. So I think for meetings, when I'm going to be writing, I think that's fine. So I think this setup is really worth purchasing. You can see the links in the description below for the affiliate links, so please go check that out. It really helps our channel. And if you've got value out of this content, then please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.